To break that down and a whole lot more, we're going to welcome an adjunct professor at Montclair State University and author of the upcoming book called Dogs Taught Me Everything I Know About Business, Dan Geltrude. Dan, good morning. I would love to talk about your book, but we got to jump into this business right now. So part of that bump, of course, was Trump saying that he will delay the tariffs set against the auto industry specifically. But market futures are down ahead of the opening bell. What do you think we see playing out today?
Well, I think it's going to be a bumpy ride here. Remember, Trump is a disruptor, and the markets don't like disruption. They don't like uncertainty. This situation with tariffs is a very fluid situation. Remember, it's all about making deals. So these deals are going to ebb and flow with Donald Trump. So as circumstances change, he's going to change his position to ultimately get to the outcome he wants. So I think it's still going to be a little bit of rough waters ahead in the market.
Yeah, and people, you cannot forget that he is a businessman first. He knows the art of the deal. So I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what he's doing with these tariffs. But mortgage rates actually dropping to their lowest point this year, causing demand to surge by a whopping 20%. So mortgage interest rates now set at 6.73%, a 0.15% drop from last week. Dan, I know we talk about the mortgage rates all the time, but do you think we finally see the rates just continue to go down?
I'm not so sure about that, Alex. I think if people are waiting for rates to drop back down into the 4s and the 3s, I don't see that happening for quite some time. So, you know, we've talked about this before, and if you find a home or a piece of property that fits into your budget, meaning it meets what you could afford in your monthly payments, you go for it. Then if rates do drop as we move into the future, then you look at a refinance situation. But I would not hold my breath thinking that rates are just going to continue to drop, especially where we had been before.
Yeah, and I mean, I think people expect like an overnight plummet. But yeah, things take time to go down. How about this? So consumers taking aim at Target for a 40-day boycott over the company's rollback on those DEI policies. So we saw a very similar economic blackout on retailers and Amazon just last week. I think it was last Friday they said they were going to do this. It made very little impact, Dan. I mean, Amazon actually saw sales rise by 1%, and then traffic in Target and Walmart just mirroring general trends. Do you think this quote-unquote Target fast is going to have any actual consequences?
Well, Target is a little bit different than some of the other retailers out there. Let's keep in mind, Target went further in the DEI process to start with. So rolling that back is going to make more of a difference. But let's see what happens here. And by the way, I have no problem with consumers doing this. If they want to flex their economic power, then because you don't agree with something, then by all means go ahead. But if it fails, keep in mind it means that most of the people, or vast majority of the people, don't share your view, and therefore you're not going to get the change that you want.
Yeah, and it's kind of the opposite of when conservatives and Republicans boycotted Bud Light. I mean, that really impacted their bottom line. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Such a pleasure having you on.
Thanks, Al.